Right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us this evening. This is the Terrian Invitational Rapid Challenge interview series, and we have been interviewing the players who are going to participate in this invitational event slated for the March 20th and 21st at the Trademark Hotel at the Village Market. And tonight, we are joined by the reigning ladies national champion, WCM. Those who don't understand that, that's the title awarded by the World Chess Federation, which stands for Woman Candidate Master, Lucy Wanjiru. She's lively in the studio. She's ready for this show, and we're just going to hear from her. So let me welcome on set tonight, WCM. Lucy, how are you?
Thank you. I'm good. How are you?
Oh, but
How are
Missouri,
you yourself?
I'm okay. Good to see you.
Okay.
You look fresh. I'm sure the burden of the exams that you have been tackling is off your back. So now you are able to relax and be ready for this. How are the exams, by the way?
Well, the last week the exams were really tough.
Uh-huh.
It was crazy. Let me just say it was crazy. But today I finished on a good note. After
Fantastic.
doing, I did a few Pomodoro sessions, and then I think I was good.
Fantastic. And we want to start on that good note by just getting to know who is Lucy. Tell us about yourself, family, professionally, or career-wise. What do you do? Your chess journey, briefly about it. And let's just get into this interview series, understanding who is this player called WCM Lucy Wanjiru.
Okay. So Lucy is she's a last born in a family of three. We're three girls. I have a mom and a dad. They've taken care of me for really long. Now it's time to grow up.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
What do you do for yourself?
School. Okay. Yeah. School-wise, I am an electrical engineer. I do electrical engineering. I also study software development, but that is on the side, on my own. Yeah, and just a chess player. I started out as a university club chess player, and now I'm playing for the national team. That's a good thing.
How has been your journey towards playing for the national team? Challenges, disappointments, victories, celebratory moments, and moments of tears and everything. How has it been for you, that journey towards being a member of the national team? Lucy played in the 2018 World Chess Olympiad held in Batumi, Georgia, where she earned the title of Woman Cadet Master. Just tell us about that, Lucy. How has that journey been where you are right now?
It's been really nice. It's been confusing. It's been up and down. It's been tears and laughter. It's been everything. I mean, a cocktail of all sorts of emotions. Well, when I started out, of course, I wasn't a strong player, and I used to only compete in the university games. Then around that time, that's when I met Trevor. He guided me through a few tournaments before I was able to like go out on my own. And that time, I remember there was this tournament I played. I can't remember the title of the tournament, but it was in 2017. And I had only won 2 games out of 9 rounds. I was like, I was wondering, what am I doing here? What's the point of all this? I wasted a whole entire weekend only to win 2 games. And I remember that day. That day I was crying. I was like, I called Givinji asking him, could you be my trainer? I don't know if he can even remember, but I was so disappointed. And that was like, ever since I ever started anything in my life, I think that was the first time in a really long time that I failed that much. And I couldn't take it. So eventually, eventually I started reading books. I started playing online. I started looking at my games. I started doing a lot. And just slowly by slowly building courage, building stamina, just experience and all that. Played in more tournaments, lost more than I could ever imagine. But at the end of the day, I mean, you can only learn through losing. Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't know if you're referring to the tournament that was played in Parklands. There's a place in Parklands, I'm forgetting the place. I remember I was seated out there as a fan, and you came out crying, and I didn't understand what you're crying about. Initially, I thought there were tears of joy, only to realize
I
you had
remember
lost it.
that was not
And
it.
you really,
It was not.
it, so crying is part of you.
I mean, for okay, I used to be a crier when I was a kid. I used to cry so much. Like I don't know. It was just like it was right there waiting to come out. So when I got older, I mean,
Yeah?
some of those habits came along with my growth. But I think
Okay.
it's really important for you to let it out.
Aha. You don't bottle up the emotions.
No,
You let
I
the
don't think it's a good thing to bottle up emotions.
All right, to our fans today, those who are watching us, remember we have a trivia question running. And our trivia question today is, what is a rapid game in chess? What is a rapid game in chess? Tell us the answer on the comment section before the show is over. And you stand our chance to win the first prize of a gift voucher, Cut of the Village Market, 5,000 Kenya shillings. Another winner of the second position will take a gift voucher worth 3,000 Kenya shillings, again, courtesy of our good sponsors and partners, Village Market. And the third winner will walk away with the gift voucher worth 2,000 Kenya shillings. Again, these have been brought to you courtesy by the Village Market. Remember, the tournament will be taking place at the Trademark Hotel right inside the Village Market. If you have never been there, oh my, you better take a walk there, just go and enjoy the environment, the nice meals that are provided there, and just be there at home. And members of the organizing committee of this event and the executive chess Kenya body and the players participating in this event and ineligible to participate. You're not supposed to participate in this event. This is just for the fans out there so that they are part of it. The question again, what is a rapid game in chess? It will be posted down on our Facebook page. Put in your answers. Lucy, now, as you talk about being a crier and you overcame that, how was your journey towards becoming a national team player? What are some of these challenges specifically you faced and in the opponents who gave you a rough time, and how did you break through the rank to be a national team player?
Um, I let me see. I think I stayed positive. I kept
Mm-hmm.
myself hungry. And one thing that I knew for sure is I cannot cheat my way up the ladder. That is,
Correct.
I mean, a principle I've lived by my entire life. So I remember hearing a few rumors here and there that, you know, if you want to make it into the national team, I mean, you're not
Mm-hmm.
so strong. So maybe you could chat with some few people here and there. They could help you out with letting you win a game or maybe a draw or
Really?
something. Yeah, I did get such. But I didn't even know that was happening because I mean, in chess, it's been the first time I've been in a competitive space that has been unfair at some point. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I'm in a competitive place, it's always been fair. So when I heard that, I was like, I don't think that is something I can really do, because if I did that and someone else didn't get a chance to go to go for the Olympiad because I did that, I mean, I would feel bad about it. So
Yes.
yeah, I decided to play it out, and I was ready to lose. Actually, I didn't expect that I would make it into the team, because I was ready to just play it to the end and see how far I can go. And when I got to that qualifiers and I made it, I mean, I was actually the last. I was hanging by a thread because I was number 5, but I still made it.
Wow,
I mean, I
wow. The
still
last
made it.
lot, the last lot. What I like about it, Lucy, is that they say on the chessboard, lies and deceit don't last. And you do not want to go to follow that way. If I hear you correctly, there's a cartel, let me use for lack of a better word, of people who negotiate their way into the national team, and they in cahoots with unscrupulous individuals. I think that's very unfortunate. It's a vice that should be discouraged. I mean, if you are strong, you are strong. Let your moves do the talking. The moves don't lie. So Lucy, that's very good that you rebuffed such attempts to try to buy your way, so to speak, into the national team. Now, come 2019, the national championship was coming up, high stakes. And on social media, I mean, you're not one of the favorites to win the national championship. Then suddenly, you came up guns blazing. I saw you enjoying the social media saying they better be ready because you are coming for them. What inspired you, and eventually seeing yourself on the podium? I was there to interview you. You were speechless. How was that for you?
Well, Kidula, honestly, 2019 was one of the most darkest years of my life. And it all started late 2018, and I was going through severe depression. I was like hospitalized a few times.
Oh,
And
sorry about.
yeah, I'm better now, but back then I was like, what is here right now that I can actually say brings joy to my life? What am I here to live for? And I
Mm-hmm.
remember in 2018, I told myself, if I'm going to survive this, then it has to be worth it. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
can't just be here alive and I can't see the reason to be. So um, I felt like chess was something that was like an escape for me. Every time I played the game, my mind would drift from the reality I was in and would shift to somewhere else where there is no worry and it's just
Yeah.
about black and white and
Wow.
64 squares, and that's all. So I I I felt I was getting more passionate um, about the game, and
Mhm.
I was willing to go however far with it I could go just to stay happy. So that moment when I won the 2019
Yes.
national championships, I remember
Mhm.
the euphoria that came with
Mhm.
it, and it was like a healing power. Well, that's all I
Mhm.
can say. It was more than anything I could have imagined. It brought peace to me, and I'm really glad it happened.
Listen, listening to you express yourself, going through depression and just finding the successful player somewhere you could release that pent up energy and unleash your fury on your opponents is really encouraging. Now, tell me, then I also know that you are the founder and CEO, or rather the owner also of Da Vinci's Cabin Academy. What is Da Vinci's Cabin Academy? What is it all about?
Well, it's still in beta, so I'm still working on it. I've been Da Vinci's Cabin Academy is it's something that I started a program for online learning, and
Mhm.
when I began this, I started. It was in 2017 when one of the parents in the estate where I live, she noticed that I excelled in high school and wanted me to teach her son in math and
Mhm.
chemistry. So I
All
offered to
right.
do that for a really low fee, not too much.
Mhm.
And eventually the
Mhm.
boy turned out great. And right now he's also doing engineering himself. And at that time when I met
Hey.
him, he wasn't so good. He was struggling a bit with mathematics. So
Mhm.
when I noticed that I had this capability of actually like teaching sciences and math, and someone can actually excel after I have taught, I was like, let me go, when I go to Nairobi, then let me just look for parents and teach their kids. So even recently,
Mhm.
I taught this one kid in math. He was in grade
Mhm.
4. And by the time I
Mhm.
was done with him, I just went to tell the parent, you know what? Remove this kid from grade 4 and put him in grade 5. He's not
Really?
supposed to be here. And when the
Wow.
parent followed my advice, it actually went well. He passed his entry exams for the new school he was going to, and he got into class
Mhm.
5. And the parent just came to me, was like, um, now my kid does well in math, he does better. I don't know what you did, but he's
Mhm.
just doing better. And also myself, I really can't tell exactly where it happens, but
Wow.
after seeing all that, I was like, let me start something like a school. But before I can get to the
Mhm.
point where it can actually be a school, I have to start somewhere small, because there's so many things I need to consider, accreditation,
Yes.
if you're starting a school. Yeah, but Da
I
Vinci's
like
Cabin
that.
Academy is not just going to be any sort of school. It's going to be somewhere where you can just express yourself however you feel like. If you know you're here to be a mathematician, you be. If you're here to be a musician, you be. If you're here to be an artist, you be. And the reason I named it Da Vinci's Cabin is because when you look at Da Vinci, he was a polymath. A
Mhm.
polymath is somebody who is competent in so many areas of study. He was good in
Mhm.
botany, he was good in aeronautics, he was good in arts, he was good in so many things. So, physics, mathematics, and even when you look back, you'll see like there's so many things he was involved in, like the history of aeroplanes, aeronautics, he was there. The history of
Yes.
art, he was there. Paintings, he was there. I mean, what can you not do?
What can you not do? That's the question being posed by WCM Lucy Wanjiru. Whatever you want to do, you got the power within yourself. Lucy, that explains. I mean, that reminds me of the fact that if you do something with dedication and passion, you haven't mentioned anything about being paid, but I know you're paid. I'm guessing because I'm sure you're not competing with the Red Cross. But more than the money is the passion that you bring into this and the energy you exude and finding that validation from the parents when their kids are doing well. What did you do? You just unlocked that talent or that gift that was innate in them, and there's your reward. Now, Lucy, I like that. I mean, this is amazing. I mean, and you also train in chess. You're also a chess trainer, right?
Yes, I do
And
also
also,
chess training. It's part of the academy.
uh and now talking about the things that you do, Lucy, I'm just saying there's so much you can tell us about. Tell us about the chess training. How has it been for you and the kids you train? And even as you tell me about that, I mean, I'm just getting excited about the things that you're doing, Lucy. Can you tell me more about that, the chess academy?
Um, the chess, it has been good, and also I can say it has been good and bad at some point. It's been good in the
Yeah.
sense that parents are really happy with how fast their kids are progressing, but it's been bad in a way that when I teach really young kids, I'm not
Mhm.
able to control how they're going to behave during the lesson. So
Mhm.
I'm trying to learn a few things about child psychology, because sometimes I get
Mhm.
angry and just flip.
Lucy, do you get angry? Do you get? I can't
Yeah.
imagine you angry. How?
Well, there's one day actually I
How?
got angry and I just flipped and I just cancelled that lesson immediately and I just went away. I was just so mad.
Are you
I don't
serious?
I was so mad that day.
Wewe Lucy moja.
Pardon?
All right. Endelea. I'm surprised to hear that. Now, Lucy,
But
eh?
but
But
eventually I think eventually with time I learned how to manage these younger kids.
correct. Tell me about the lone wolf. That's your Monica. I want to play something here that you did. This is you,
Okay,
Lucy.
yeah, it's the rap killer. I'm still bitter, competing with all of you trap niggas, I swear. All of you better beware. When I get to the throne, you better not be there. I'm so impatient, get off my seat, boy. Don't you see the game needs a replacement? I'm a prodigy, yeah. I know what fake is. This is greatness. You cannot fake this, but okay, let's get back to reality. Recognize I got a strong mentality. Underground rapper, yeah, they still mad at me. If I'm not the best, then finally I gotta be. It's sad when I see those people buzzing like mosquitoes, saying rappers got ego. We know I dress money in a tuxedo. In this game, I ain't got no amigo. So actually, it's not hard to see this fantasy. I gotta be everything that I plan to be. I've been working 3 years on a masterpiece, but the doors are locked. I need a master key. Fast OG, hand me those keys.
Hey, Lucy, I've been working for 3 years on a masterpiece. I need the master key. Those lyrics, man. Where do you get those lyrics? And you as a rapper. I mean, Lucy, tell me about this. Lone Wolf. That's the name you go by as a rapper. Lone Wolf. Why Lone Wolf? And these lyrics, who writes for you these lyrics? You?
I do write for myself my lyrics. And the lone wolf like an alter ego.
Uh,
I feel
uh-huh.
like that is a part of me that I only like to keep it to myself, and the best way I can show it to people is through the lyrics and through the videos. But whenever I chill by myself, I'm just chilling with the lone wolf. That's who I really am when I'm alone.
I'll
And when
just continue, sorry. Uh-huh.
sorry, with the writing, I started writing when I was in high school. So like when you look at all the things I've written progressively since then, I've just been improving. So to get to the point where I am right now, it didn't just happen, because I look at a couple of scripts I wrote back then and they're cringe worthy. They're not as good as these ones are, and I hope to progress even better. Yeah.
There's no doubt you're going to progress. I listened to your interview some time back, I think 2019 on Homeboys Radio, and you nailed it. And I know there's a rap competition that you are competing in. Tell us about the rap competition. You came number three or number two? Number two. You went to the
Yeah.
finals, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Let's see. Wow. Tell us about that competition. How was it like?
It was the first time ever that I stepped on a big stage like that to rap in front of people, and it was
Sorry,
scary.
sorry,
It
sorry, sorry.
was um I'm saying that was the first time I ever stepped in front of such a big crowd of people to rap, and it was really scary at first because I was always nervous. Always felt like throwing up every time. I was shaking. But when I was on that stage, I don't know how nobody was noticing all this was going through my head, because I really pushed myself. Then when we got to the last round, when a lot of people were betting on me to get first place, but when we got to the
Yes.
last round, I choked. I went blank. I felt like
Really?
throwing up. And I was like, but yeah, then the guy won by default. Of
Oh
course,
my God.
he said he rapped, so he can't go empty-handed. So he got first place. That time, first place was getting like 100K. and second place was getting 40,000.
So you pocketed 40,000, Lucy.
Yeah, I did. It was still okay. It was
You
still
never
okay.
called me. You never even called me to tell me, Brian. Okay, it's all right. Lucy, I know you're a fan of Kendrick Lamar. You tell us that he's the undisputable and most
And
acclaimed rap artist of this generation.
I met Buddha Blaze over there, and when he found out that I play chess, he was like, "Do you know Brian Kidula?"
Oh yeah, Buddha Blaze, yeah, good friend of mine. Let me tell you, I've never met someone who understands the music industry like Buddha Blaze. Hey, Buddha Blaze, big up, bro. That guy knows hip hop, whatever. He just knows music, and he's wow. So he asked you, "Do you know Brian?" I say, "Yes, I know Brian. I even have his number. I can call him." Oh, Lucy, let's forget about that. Well done for that section. Now let's go into the event coming up on the 20th and 21st of March. What game plan are you bringing into this event?
Well, I just want to play at my level best. So because I'm done with exams right now, so my plan for starting tomorrow is I want to try and do like at least 5 hours in a day until the event.
Mhm.
Uh, before we start
Oh,
the next
5 hours in
semester,
a
at
day.
least. Yeah.
Mhm.
Or at least like maximum 5, minimum 3. I just need to do something. I need to do something, and I found this nice way of studying studying anything. I think you know about it, the Pomodoro. I don't know if you know
Nobody.
about it, where you like
I
take.
don't think I know. I keep on learning. We never stop learning because life never stops teaching us. Can you teach me about that? No, and don't send an invoice, please. Just teach me. What is that?
So it's a 25 minute study with 5-minute breaks in between. So after every 25-minute Pomodoro session, I like go for a 20-minute break. So in between, I'll do a 25-minute Pomodoro session, and then a 5-minute break, 25-minute Pomodoro, 5-minute break. Then when they get to 4 25 minutes, I go for a 20-minute break. Then I go back to doing the 25 5-minute break. So with that, you can be able to like study for long hours without getting fidgety and distracted. You
Thank you for
can even
that.
go up
Now,
to 7 hours studying with that.
I shall try. But now, who do you rate? How do you rate your chances in this event, Lucy? It's a strong event. How do you rate your chances? And to add to that question, who do you consider your greatest competitors in this event?
um, I think Joyce is by far one of the most. She's one of the strongest ladies I've played in the country. Also, my Delta. So at the moment, I haven't played with the rest in the team lately, so I'm not really sure how well they're playing at the moment. Anybody could be different by now because it's been really long. So I can only say I'm going in looking at uh, that whole competition like a gray area. Let me just compete and we see how it goes. But at the moment, the people I know who can give me trouble, who I have played before, Joyce could be one of them.
All right. But you have played before and the results, you pipped her to the national championship title in 2019. So I think you are carrying that, I don't call it euphoria, that form into this game as you study for minimum 3 hours a day, 5 hours, and I'm sure you'll find time to look at their games. Now, what do you want to tell them, even as you prepare to meet them? What do you want to tell them? If you were to face them one by one, but now I want to give you a platform, what do you want to tell them as you come for them?
I want to tell them that they need to play the tournament without the idea of the idea of personal rivalry. It has to be over the board if you have to bring in rivalry. Otherwise, if it's personal, then it's stupid. I mean, that is not chess.
Lucy, WCM Lucy Wanjiru. It is personal, that's stupid, that's not chess. Rivalry must be addressed on the chessboard. I like that. Let's meet on the chessboard. And,
Yeah.
Lucy, so when you meet them there, there'll be no friendship per se. There'll be nothing like, oh, I know you, you are my, you are my girl, There'll be nothing of the sort.
No, no,
Hakuna.
Akuna. We just go there, we kill each other on the board. And then after that, we go have some few drinks and we close the day with a smile.
Whoever survives to live, fight another day.
Just like that. Just like that.
I like that. Now, to that young girl or young boy looking up to you and saying, when I grow up, I also want to be a national champion like Lucy. I want to pursue my academics well because also that's an area you're focusing on. I want to try being creative and having this mind of adding good to society by the things with the things that you're doing. What do you want to tell them at this point?
Listen to the older people. Try and understand where they're coming from. I mean, we may be a whole different generation, but at the end of the day, the wisest person is the most experienced person. And we may not understand that.
Wait. The wisest person is the most experienced person.
In that area.
It's patented.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I really think so because when I talk to people like Gidenji, he gives me this certain view of life that somebody who is my age mate doesn't really, that picture, I don't get it from them, but I can get it from someone like Gidenji. I can get it from someone like Magana. I can get it from someone like you.
Mm-hmm.
And then also another thing I'd really urge them to do is it in somewhere that you don't, because when I was joining campus, and I wasted so much time. So even my grades went down for some reason. Because I ended up involving myself in certain activities that I wouldn't have involved myself in had I been thinking and without influence from these people.
Yes.
So
Yes.
when I went back and looked at the reason why I acted that way, part of it was because I really felt the need to belong, But I always tell people at the end of the day, even if you don't belong in that crowd, there's going to come somebody someday who you will meet and you will vibe and you will know this is my person. And it doesn't have to happen immediately. So don't waste so much time trying to prove yourself to people. The people who need you, the people who see you will come by. And then another thing, especially about studies and balancing studies and chess. If you're someone like me who is so forgetful of time, I think it would be advisable to set alarms or throughout the day, something to remind you, you need to do this, you need to do that. So I do that sometimes. I do set alarms during the day sometimes because I can even forget to eat. I can yeah, I can forget to do so many things. So I try to set alarms, and with those alarms come in a title saying what I'm supposed to do, just like a reminder, basically, just like a reminder. And I don't know. It's all basic. I mean, those things that that are good and you need to apply in your life. You also just apply them in the field that you're in. If it's school, if you be told you work hard, it's not just that you're told work hard, that it's thrown around everywhere. You know what you're supposed to do when you get there. So
I need to sit down with you when you're one of the events and we talk some more. Tell me, as we finish up, who is this chess player you have ever wanted to be and why? Is that so?
to do what?
You have ever wanted to be this chess player? Who do you idolize in the chess world, both internationally and on the local scene? Who is this chess player that you like to be?
I don't think there's a chess player I don't really want to be like, but I have had my share of admiration for someone like Bobby Fischer. I kind of admired Bobby Fischer, and for certain reasons, the fact that his childhood wasn't so much good, but he tried to find a solace in chess, tried to find some peace in it from it. I mean, and also when he was getting older, it's not like he's well, according to the movie, I'm talking about it according to the movie Pawn Sacrifice.
One sacrifice, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So we could see him struggle with things like paranoia, and eventually, if you looked at the movie really well, the time you'd see Bobby Fischer like actually glowing was during the time he was playing. You could actually just see you could see the happiness in him, even if he didn't have to smile. Like you could see it, he was at peace. It was not the same as him being idle in his hotel room and being paranoid. It was different. So it's kind of gave me a reason to play chess. It made me see that chess can actually be an antidepressant too.
Great. To our fans watching us, what is known as the rapid chess? What is known as rapid game? How do you explain that to us? The question is there, what is a rapid game in chess? It's just right there. As we finish up by listening to Lucy's last thoughts, the answer should be in before we end up the show in a very short while after Lucy gives us a final thought. Lucy, take it up from there. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I'm really bad at AOBs. I don't usually know what to say at this moment. I don't usually know how to end a conversation. Let me just say, let's just tell the people good night and sleep tight, sleep well, everybody. I don't know what else to say.
Thank you so much, Lucy. It has been great fun hanging with you. I look for you. I look up for you. That has been the reigning national champion, WCM Lucy Wanjiru. We wait to see how it's going to be come that day, 20th, 21st by the Trademark Hotel. Thank you very much for watching. This has been your host, Brian Kidula, signing off and saying, sleep tight. Good night.